Hi, I'm Ricky. I am one half of the Tender Trainers. So we at the Tender Trainers, we help subcontractors on how to tender effectively. So our goal is basically to help you make this process as simple and successful as possible, so you can win those bigger contracts with less stress. I try and do this on a regular basis. So yeah, jump on, ask me a question, or feel free to DM me a topic that you'd like to cover, for example. All right, let's whip into it. So the topic that I wanted to talk about today is around process and why I encourage you to have a process, and also how it actually elevates your game. So process is all about setting up structure. This is particularly important when you've got multiple team members feeding into the overall task. So implementing a process, this allows you and your team to achieve a high caliber output each and every time, like a well-oiled machine, right? So a written process, and I like to do mine visually in a flow chart so you can see it visually and the team sees it visually. This is going to be something that you and the team can follow. It's going to identify all the important steps that you need to be taking to achieve a high outcome, as well as identifying who's going to do what. So, in actual fact, like all large companies, they all work off process, right? They have a process for everything. And this is how they control meeting their minimum standards over multiple different jobs with different team members on every job. That's how they do it. They've got a process for everything. So what are the benefits? Why go to the effort? Why get one of these done and have it for your team? So when you implement process, you're going to find a few things. One, you'll find that things become simpler. So, for example, when you're thinking about tendering as a whole, this can be a bit daunting sometimes, like the whole process that you need to go through, all the different documents that you might need to get together, etc. So, with a lot of, it can seem daunting with a lot of moving parts, right? But by creating a process, we're breaking down the whole process into important steps that are manageable bite-sized pieces. So taking that overall thing, making it smaller bite-sized pieces that are manageable, and it can be less daunting. Another point here is deadlines are going to be easier to meet, right? So if once we have our process in place, we'll be spreading out the work over the whole time that you have, rather than just cramming it right before the submission, which I know a lot of us are guilty of doing. You're also going to find that it's easier to hand off parts of the process with control. So this is particularly important when you bring others in, or you have a team who's contributing to the process, including administrators in the tendering, etc. So when the process is laid out and it's a step-by-step process, you can bring new team members in to part of that process a lot easier. And also, you're going to find that your team is going to work better together when they understand who's doing what, how they fit into the overall scheme. The team is just going to understand their part and understand how they fit into the overall picture, which is contributing to a well-functioning team. So yeah, I mean, if you're not currently working to a process for your tendering, and I know a lot of companies don't, I would highly recommend you sit down and you think of the process and you write it down and you get it going. So when we run our training with our clients, this is one of the first things we do. We get a clear, workable process happening that has all the important steps covered in the tendering that's going to achieve a really, really good tender and increase your chance of winning. And we're going to have everyone in the team knowing what they're doing and how they're contributing. So in actual fact, we think this bit is so important. It's one of our 4 P's of tendering. The first P, process. Yeah, so I think that's kind of it, guys. In summary, as a company, implementing process, it's not only going to help you avoid those last-minute cram sessions to get tenders over the line, it's going to help you create high-quality tenders each and every time that they come in. The team, as a tender comes in, the team will know what they're doing. They'll be achieving a high standard each and every time. All right. Yeah, that's it for today. Yeah, stay tuned. I do these quite regularly, as I said. So stay tuned I'll cover another impactful tendering topic. If you found this useful, feel free to check out our YouTube channel, The Tender Trainers. We have a bunch more free content on there. And we also hold a monthly tender talk, which is our free training session. So yeah, DM me if you'd like to come to one of those, and I'll make sure that you get the invite. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.